Yo! How's it going, everybody? While I wait for my voice to come back and tell me that my mic is doing the correct things.
Why is everyone spiraling over YouTube banning ad blockers? Like, chill guys, just use Pi.
Okay. Not gonna use Pi, you can't make me. How's it going? Okay, our voice sounds good. What's up? I am living my best life in my Reichland campaign. It's going great. We're all big fans of the Reichland campaign. Let's just say witch hunters suck. I had witch hunters fighting an orc war boss, and he was level 1, and he killed 3 level 4 witch hunters, and that was good. So witch hunters are a good unit, and I'm super happy with them. Fucking witch hunters. They're garbage. You know what's not garbage? I have the best tournament ever coming up. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. It's not that. I didn't give a shit about that. Oh, you're doing your dumb subathon. That must be fun. Yeah, whatever. This one. Doomstack tournament. Trying to get them campaign players. Pretty much, you just take a large army with infinite money, and then we see what degeneracy you can come up with. It should be fun. Like, I have the settings on here. So, before anybody gets too salty and thinks it's going to be really dumb, it might be, but like, unit caps exist, so if you take a land ship, it turns off the other land ship. If you take a steam tank, it turns off the other steam tank. Right, so you can only take so many of those. And then you can only take so many big single entities, like let's take Elspeth on her dragon. Boom. Now I shouldn't be able to take any other rare single entities. Can I take Franz on his Deathwing? Is that a... Ah! They still have that oversight. So rare single entities 4 out of 3 because it's pretty easy to bug CA's unit caps, which when everybody gives us shit for having our own custom rule set, they're like, just use unit caps. I mean, unit caps are so hard to break, guys. Boom. I have 5 out of 3 rare single entities. That's crazy. Now, thankfully, I'm a human being, and people have to send me their builds before the tournament starts. So I'll just fact check that. But yeah, CA's unit caps are still pretty darn easy to get around. But it still should be fun. I'm expecting to see some hyper elite front lines because you have literally more money than you could ever spend. Demigriffs. Demigriffs. That's so much money. I'm not even putting a dent in it. So yeah, it's gonna be a little silly. I'm curious what people come up with. I'm seeing some fun Warriors of Chaos builds being thrown my way. I saw a fun Lizardman build. I saw some Durfs. And it might be neat to see the Thunder Barge, but in a context where there's so much going on that Thunder Barge won't solo carry the game, because it's like impossible to do that. I don't know. And I wonder if the dwarves will just get their shit canned here. We'll see. We'll see. Should be fun. People should take some fun stuff. Dude, Kislev might be a real roster again. Because all their shit being so expensive literally doesn't matter. I'm excited. So that's not Wednesday, but next Wednesday. This Wednesday, I leave for Seattle. So you guys won't get a stream from me for 5 days. We'll be back Sunday. I think I'm streaming Big JP's like clan war thing then. I want to bring people to come try out FFA campaigns. FFA campaigns are fine. We used to do some on the channel, and then everyone I did campaigns with quit, and I got married, and yeah. That's all I got. Oh boy. Okay, we gotta do a tournament, huh? We gotta do a thing. Let's go. Let's do this. Nope, we're good. We're rallying. We have King of the Hoot Hoots versus Porkenstein dwarves and Hero Hammer dwarves. They have hammers though, and an organ gun, so I'll forgive them. But our new player tournaments are slowly getting filled with more and more dwarf mains. And I'm getting concerned that people don't understand I gave them a global ban. What are they using it on? someone's gonna be like, I global ban vampire counts, and then they get their shit rolled by Empire dwarves, and they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, dude. It's crazy. King of the Hoots, what are you doing? You can't fight the dwarves. He's gonna try. You can't do it. It's impossible. 4 Nurglings, one of which is the Frolickers, a bunch of Plague Bearers, all of them are exalted in nature. Chaos War Shrine to do some healing. Epidemius, King of the Hoot's new task he gives himself to try and make something that's terrible good. Then we have the Noxbringer, and a Plague Ridden of Nurgle up in the sky with Rancid Visitations, Stream of Corruption for spells. On the other side, we have Gotrek and Felix. It's been a while since I've seen these two together. Felix makes a pretty nasty Hero Hammer, especially teamed up with Thoric Ironbrow. Does have 40% spell resistance, so unfortunately that Rancid Visitations is not going to do very much damage at all to him. It did a whopping 550. So Thoric will be immune to that nonsense. Other than that, we have double hammers, giant slayers, rangers, and miners of blasting charges. 1 organ gun that is currently firing away at the Chaos War Shrine. Hasn't managed to hit it yet, which is a little concerning. It's getting some shots in, not a lot. I'm disappointed in you, Organ Gun. I never thought I'd say that. I always thought I'd say I'm so proud of you, Organ Gun, because you're such a good unit. Gotrek and Frimbus trying to find a fight. Gotrek is sprinting towards the Exalted Plague Bearers, and Felix is reluctantly following along. He was happy fighting some Nurglings. We used it on Empire and Dark Elves. Hoot, I don't believe you. Organ Gun's running out of ammo, because King of the Hoots keeps using the Noxbringer. I think he used it in the last New Player Tournament too, where he just uses it to deplete their ammo. Yeah, look at that. 4 volleys left in the Organ Gun. It's pretty brutal. Thor gets himself a little fight with Epidemius. Plagueridden's gonna dive in on that Rockfly. Good armor-piercing damage on that thing. He'll need Felix next to him soon to give him some healing. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Felix is way over here with Gotrek, so... Alright, Thor's starting to run. He's trying to get back to the boys where he can get some healing, get some good stuff. Organ Gun, soon to be a very overvalued melee unit. Where are our hammer compatriots? Looks like they killed some demons over here, so now they're just waiting for new attack orders. The other side, giant slayers fighting it out there, the hammers. More of the elite of Carrick 8 Peaks. I suppose the Carrick 8 Peaks are the Peak 8 guards, so these are just regular old Karazak Rock boys. Oh hey, Gotrek and Felix got into a fight with Epidemius and the Plague Ridden. I don't hate going for the Plague Ridden. It's a little squishier than Epidemius is. Okay, yeah, that's gonna fuck off, so now they can turn their attention onto the Tallyman. Ranger of the Great Weapon still alive, still have a bit of ammo left to them before the Noxbringer hits him. Alright. Say goodbye to that ammo, I suppose. And Thoric is still fighting. He's too far away from Felix to get that healing, so he is not abusing the blobbing potential of the dwarves. Prismatic! You didn't see this was happening tonight? I'm sorry. I did post it last night because I was trying to figure out my week, and then we did our best to get it all together. Felix does not have spell resistance, by the way, so you should be Rancid Visitation on Felix for the future, FYI. He is just a shitty manling after all. He's no powerful dwarf. He doesn't have the spell resist of the gods. Epidemius is getting danger low. Thoric is still fighting in the middle of all these Exalted Plague Bearers and still taking a lot of damage. He needs Felix to chill out next to him. Yeah. Now Felix is nearby. Wait, why aren't you getting helping hand? There you go. There you're getting helping hand. Look at him. Look at him getting helped. Look at that health bar. Stabilizing. Still going down a little bit because, I mean, you're fighting an Exalted Plague Bearers for God's sakes, but at least it's stabilizing. Dwarves are starting to pull ahead in my imagination, I guess, because the balance of power doesn't agree with me, and I guess if the balance of power doesn't agree with me, then I'm wrong! And if the dwarves win this game, then I'm just a bad analyst, because I don't know anything about anything, and the balance of power knows all, but I'm telling you, dwarves are pulling ahead. If you don't believe me, kick a shoe, and I hope it mildly hurts your foot. Meanwhile, one hammer is getting pushed away. Another hammer is joining the fight with Felix at their side. Gotrek is in the middle. He gets flung into the air. Never mind, it's a giant slayer who has a very similar thing. There we go. There's Gotrek. Fighting the Noxbringer, pushing it away. Pushing me away. Why I never went this way? Pushes me away. Old school Linkin Park. You wouldn't get it. You weren't there. The early 2000s was a time. A time to be alive. Something's happening over there. Is that a Rune of Wrath and Ruin? It is! Oh my goodness! It did some damage to the Nurglings! That's crazy! Dwarf's falling behind in the balance of power. I still think it's fraudulent, but I suppose if Thoric gets isolated and Felix is still not healing him, then yeah, he will die, and yeah, that'll be a bad time, and then the Dwarves will take the leadership spike. Gotrek's here trying to fight back the Noxbringer, but Felix is nowhere to be found. Felix refuses to heal Thoric. Felix, I don't know what Thoric did to you, but you might want to get over it, pal, because the Dwarves really need you to go heal him. Nice Stream of Corruption down the side, doing good damage to those hammerers. Nice consistent pokey-pokes. Thoric is going to rout, and he'll probably die as the Plague Ridden needs to rear attack him probably twice to kill him off. Epidemia seems to be on the track, but nope, Thoric rallies somehow. There we go, now he routed. Whoa, he went from +6 to -48, back to +11. Sure glad leadership is a meaningful stat that doesn't wildly fluctuate for no fucking reason. Another Locus of Virulence out from the Plague Ridden, but Nurgle is running out of boys. They're running out of lads. Festering Stooges aren't looking too hot. None of these Exalted Plague Bearers are. Thoric is definitely going to rally in the distance, so he'll be back, don't you worry. And Gotrek is still quite a problem. He is much more of a problem if he's actually anywhere near Felix, but Felix has been fighting alone. Gotta respect the chops. Fourth player says, Blob, never. I wouldn't do that. Doomseekers like Plague Bearers? Yeah. Thoric dies to a Rance of Visitation off screen, and now the dwarves lose a bunch of leadership, including Felix. He is not a dwarf, but he is a part of the dwarf roster, so he suffers from the Lord is Dead debuff, so like a dwarf. He's like a dwarf. Gotrek's still stuck fighting here with Epidemius, who is pretty healthy still. The Noxbringer is pretty healthy still. And that Chaos War Shrine is probably fully stacked up at this point, yeah, so it's slowly healing everybody up. Felix charges back into the fight, trying to heal up his friend, Gotchery. And man, those giant hourglasses sure make it hard to see what the fuck is happening here. Dwarf Warriors take a Stream of Corruption down the middle. Gotrek's still fighting, as we need to get these hammers and Mimes of Blasting Charges back into the fray. They are coming waddling back. I don't know if they'll be in time. Well, that is an angry Slayer boy. He was a Slayer boy. I said a Slayer boy. He's a boy. Actually did a number on the Chaos War Shrine, though. All of a sudden gets that to rout. Felix is still in here fighting. Festering Stooges have nearly heal capped, so that's exciting and new as Locus of Virulence is back out for more melee attack and arm-piercing damage. Gotrek is getting whittled down. Felix still trying to offer what little bits of healing he can. And the Hammerers are back. Don't tear her out again. Don't tear. You just got here. You just got here, you cowards. Hammerers abandon Gotrek and Felix to their fate yet again. As Epidemius rolls through. Oh, Thoric, you fool. Thoric, you prideful fool. Why didn't you stay next to Felix? Imagine how Gotrek killed himself with his healing aura again and then army losses hit. Thoric, imagine if you had stayed next to the healer. Damn you, Thoric. Damn you. You abandoned your people in your time of need. Gotrek got 3,100 value. That's insane. Hammers did okay. Organ Gun did terribly. I know its value says it did okay, but I know the truth. I saw it do next to no damage to the Chaos War Shrine that was sitting still. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers the Organ Gun. Epidemius actually got good value. Same as the Plague Ridden. Noxbringer did great. Plague Bearers did fantastically. GG's. GG's. Oh, Thoric. What could have been if you had stayed with the healer? Fireball Phoenix sent me a game. That's cool. Thanks, buddy. Dark Elves versus Vampire Coast. The truth is, I'm biased against cool artillery units. It's true. It's so true, dude, I am. Siegfried versus Grimbat. Oh, Grimbat's back. I thought they gave up on the game. They told me that. They said, that's it. I'm done with Warhammer 3. But they're back, baby. They're back and they're better than ever. Let's go. Dark Elves versus Vampire Coast. We have a front line of Dread Spears, 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers, 2 Witch Elves, we have a Sorceress of Fire with only Burning Head, 2 Cold One Knights, 5 Dark Shards, all with shields, and a Black Guard of Nagaron. Dark Shards are going to want to take the super thin line formation, because otherwise when they get shot at, the piercing is going to do a lot more damage to them. Like mortars or carronades or anything like that will do a lot more damage to units like this. As we watch the next shots come in, they're going to hit multiple elves. Come on now. Have fun. Don't have too much fun, but have some fun. Don't go... Hey! When you're at the store, don't go like, wee! I'm having so much fun! Like, just...
Which one of us would do that?
You. Just buy the groceries and come home.
You sure about that?
I am sure about that.
Sure about
You're always
that,
full of shenanigans.
boy? She needs a friend.
Hazel?
Yeah. Because
Oh.
I was snuggling with her. She was snuggling up on me and then I got up.
Isn't that what the cat's for?
He's down the door. He is. He's not.
Okay, well then Hazel, come here.
Oh.
Boom, you have a friend.
Hmm?
Wait, was that a hint? Are you gonna get a puppy at the store?
No.
Okay.
The opposite. I'm going to go return.
And what was this whole she needs a friend bit?
That's the thing. She needs a friend, so I'm going to return her. Give her to a house that has.
Aw, that's awesome. Good. Take her. She
I-
sucks anyway.
Doesn't.
I called your bluff, you're keeping her.
Put
Alright.
me down.
Grace is here, everybody. Goodbye, Grace. Anyway, we're gonna watch a cannonball rip through a whole bunch of elves.
Rice and soy sauce that we need. That's right.
Rice and soy sauce. Have the cannons switch targets? No, they're just taking forever to shoot. Shoot these guys! Hey! I'll wait. I'll wait for you to fire. Oh, there's only 2 cannons left. Okay, that explains it. The elves have been fucking with them. Fine. For Grimbat's army, we have some scurvy dogs, a front line of deckhands mobs, handgunners behind that, triple deck gunner, one of which is the Shade Wraith gunners, and we have animated hulks, a carronade that is almost dead, Lampe's Revenge, animated hulks, and Celastra on foot with Tide Call, Crab Summon, and Ghost Knights Errant Summon. Captain Tealis saying hi and bye to Grace. Nice angle on the Burning Head. Might get a 2-for-1. Good damage onto the deckhands mob, and then it's going to roll through. Probably finish the handgunner, because also with the Dark Shard fire, that's too low for that guy to recover. So, yeah, he's just going to go down. Bolt throwers are safe and happy to keep shooting as long as that dog stays away. That looks like it's actually going on a long gambit to keep these Cold Knights running around, so I like that. And the Crab Summon is also very annoying for the Dark Shards to deal with. I think the coast is pretty happy with how this is going so far. Witch Elves pop their Rampage on Lampe's Revenge. They're not going to get much damage out against those guys. They're a bit too tanky. And the Dark Shards have a bit of a lose-lose. They need to get in range to shoot the deck gunners, or they'll just get shot to death, but they also need to shoot everything between them and the deck gunners to get there safely, so I think they're just in a bit of trouble, as the Dark Elf front line is getting massacred right now. Some Cold Knights on the flanks doing well. This one was trying to mirror that dog, but the dog did eventually sneak around, shuts down one Reaper Bolt Thrower, and goes sprinting for the other one. Gets distracted by the Cold Knights. And then it gets new orders to go back for the Bolt Thrower. Look at him go. Wee, dogs! Yum, 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 yum. Good luck, dogs. Good luck. The Cold Knights will finish them off one way or the other. As a big Burning Head went through the deck gunners. Gets one to crumble. The other 2 are going to be fine. They'll rally. Dark Elves behind the balance power, and I would tend to agree. As the Dark Shards keep getting disrupted by various things. The damn Knights Errant are trying their best to spook. Their damage potential isn't great, but they're annoying. They're a good little summon. Look at them go as the Bolt Thrower keeps trying to pick off the deck gunner crew that's almost dead. A quick Tide Call goes straight through the Dark Shards. And just like that, all the Dark Shards are routing. Golden Knights did successfully save this one bolt thrower that is firing at the Lamprey's Revenge, providing constant little DPSs. And now the Deck Gunners have realized the true foe, the naked lady standing in the middle of the battlefield, and now she's getting shot by ghost bullets. The Knights aren't going to fade away in 3 seconds, so we don't have to care about them, though they will terror out her swiftly before fading away. And Coldland Knights are doing their best. They were buffed recently, so they can hold here for a while, but it's not like they can put the whole game on their back, because these Coldland Knights are actually going to make a desperate gamble to save the fate of their world. Diving straight back onto these two Deck Gunners, taking them out will help you a lot with balance of power. And then if this Fire Lady can, you know, not die right now, she can come back later with Burning Heads to save the world. Celestia only has one summon left. She has a regular old Crabbo. And Blackguard are trying to get in here. Cold Knights will successfully shut down Shade Wraith Gunners. And they get root charged by Animated Hulks. I honestly think they can beat both of these at the same time, as that Deck Gunner keeps shooting at something. Celestia is looking like she's going to try and chase back here. Don't know what she's hoping to accomplish. And Lamprey's Revenge are getting dangerously low. Hold on. Hold on. Don't call it a comeback, but I'm calling it a comeback. This is it. The Dark Elves fucking win. The Dark Elves fucking win, baby! She needs to keep running. No, don't stop. Also, don't Burning Head the Lamprey's Revenge. They hate that. But yeah, don't stop. I think if you route one more time, you shatter, and then you're useless to everybody. So please keep running. Please get some distance. I don't think that Burning Head was super worth it, but the Cold Wind charge onto the Lamprey's Revenge do take them out. So that is that constantly regenerating, annoying thing to get rid of is dead. The Deck Gunners get attacked by Dread Spears. Cold Knights finishing off these Animated Hulks. And after that, I mean, the balance of power is just a full health Celestia sitting here, but that could go away quickly. Hey, Trogdor, how you doing? Tian, I don't know, man. No one's ever complained about this map before. It doesn't look like there's too much of an uphill downhill advantage. Both sides have a hill in opposite corners that they can use. So where did the Cold Knights end up? They went over to help the Dread Spears finish off those Deck Gunners, and that they did. The Dark Elves are clawing their way back into this battle as Celestia catches the Reaper Bolt Thrower crew. Dark Shards rally to try and shoot at Celestia. Don't know how much that's going to help them, as the Burning Headcaster needs to keep running. Uh-oh. She's going to route for sure. Oh! Alright, that was a good Burning Head, and she somehow didn't die. As Animated Hulk's starting to charge her now, Celestia's also coming over with 44 speed. No, 40 speed to the only 32-ish of the Sorcerer's Fire. So the Sorcerer's Fire is dead. And we all have acknowledged that. There's no saving her from the ghost that lurks. Da, 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 da. Look at her run. Look at her go. Dark Elf still sweeping up some extra units here and there. There's a terror out for that lady. Celestia tries to hit her in the back. The Animated Hulks and these zombies will fade. Cold Knight's coming over. So for the Vampire Coast, it's a full health Celestia, a half health Zombie Pirates Deckhand Mob, a half health Animated Hulk, and that is it. For the Dark Elves, it's a 1/3 HP Cold One Knight, a Bolt Thrower crew that's about to get back online, and then some tattered remains of nothingness. And Celestia does cause terror, whether you like it or not. And she has missed so many attacks onto this sorceress. What the fuck? She hasn't hit her like one time. What is happening? Why can't she hit her? The Tide Call does more damage to Supreme Sorceress of Fire than Celestia did. There, Celestia finally gets a hit in. The sorceress needs to escape, but she's currently on the ground. Stand up! Stand up, you ponce! Run! Run to safety! As the Bolt Thrower and the Dark Shards are here to shoot the Animated Hulks, the Zombie Pirate Deckhands Mob are too far away to deal with this, and the buffed up Cold Knights are gonna put this whole fucking game on their back. They're gonna win. Grimbat, I will say I meant to take two hand cannons, not Deck Gunners. Fair. It was a super close game, Grimbat. It still is, but I think at this point you're doomed. I don't see how Celestia kills those Cold Knights. Supreme Sorceress of Fire won't die, which means these Cold Knights aren't going to terror route or anything. They'll be alright. Bolt thrower is trying to shoot at her, and that's an FF. That was a super close game. And the Vampire Coast just couldn't quite close it out. They were super far ahead early, but then those Cold One Knights went beast mode. I want to see what their value was. 950, 1500. Yeah, that's pretty good. Bolt throwers did alright. They took out that cannon like instantly. Dark Shards had a tough time. The Dark Elf frontline also had a pretty tough go of things. How badly am I berating the noobs? Never. I would never do that. The fact that you would imply I would do such a thing says more about you than it says about me. Hawkenstein messaged me. Alright, how's the tournament going? We have 8 players tonight, so it should be moving pretty quick. Looks like most people are done with round 2 already out of 4. Britonia and Corn? Ew. Ew, I don't want to cast that. I don't want to. I'm just gonna cast bears. Just gonna cast bears. Why can't I hit start battle? You cannot declare your readiness while you're above unit cabs. Chariots and War Machines 5 out of 4. Wait a second. When I thought I was being so crafty earlier, was I actually being stupid? If you game the system, does it not let you hit start? Hold on. Now I need to know. Okay, why can't I hit start now? Oh yeah, CPU 1. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Okay, so start battle is here. And now if I put her on a dragon, it grays out! CA is smarter than me! Oh, CA, I always knew you were smarter than me. Well, fuck. Okay, whatever. This game sucks. This game sucks. Porkenstein versus Hectorius Rex. Mick Rightface. I do not take criticism. I don't take it well. I don't take it poorly. I just don't take it. When someone criticizes me, I blank out and stare at the screen until I feel better about myself. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Porkenstein versus Hectorius. For Corn! We have Flesh Hounds! I'm going to skip the of Corn because everything here is of Corn. Chaos Warriors with Halberds, Marauder Frontline, Double Exalted Bloodletter, one of which is the Hellforged Toast. Then we have a single Minotaur with Great Weapons and Valkia. That is a very heavy infantry build of Corn. On the other side for Britonia, we have some Knights of the Realm and Knights Errant lurking in the forest. Men-at-Arms front line for them, Foot Squires, then some Peasant Bowmen, just 2 of them, Beast Slayers of Bastogne and Foot Squires. King Lewin on horseback with Sword of Corone, Lion Shield, and Stand Your Ground. Then we have Knights of the Realm, Men-at-Arms, Polearms, Field Trebuchets, and Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis. So, Foot Squires, and a lot of mid-tier Knights instead of Elite Knights. Britonia didn't bring a caster. You always want to bring a caster. Also, if you're bringing Lewin versus Corn, you don't need the Lion Shield because they don't have spells to use on you. Quick maths. Anyway, moving on. Knights Errant charging the Fleshhounds of Corn. It looks like the Fleshhounds are going to eventually win that fight. While over here, the Knights of the Realm should do better against the Fleshhounds because their anti-large is quite helpful, though they are in a 2v1. So it looks like both of the Bretonian Knights will take a lot of damage. I don't know who will win this duel between the Fleshhounds and the Knights Errant. I actually don't. Over here, I think the Knight of the Realm will lose to 2 Fleshhounds, but he'll give as good as he gets because he's about to Demonic Instability Crumble 1, so he's already doing great. Foot Squires have failed me more times than I can count, so I think they suck, and Britonia doesn't have a caster. I am concerned about their chances of winning. I like their build. Their build is very Chad. It fills me with hope for the future generations that it's not 2 Grail Knights and a healer, but they should still have a caster of some kind. Maybe a Heaven's caster with Thunderbolt. Maybe think about that. As the archers are currently trying to fire at the Minotaurs who are charging in. Minotaurs have 70 armor, but no shields and no missile resist. Does mean eventually those filthy peasants with their filthy peasant bows will drag those guys down. Don't want to be careful. Knights are trying to back out of the fight and lure them into other Knights of the Realm, so those Fleshhounds will die quickly, while these other Knights of the Realm are just trying to get to some sort of safety, while Valkia weighs in. Trebuchet is still launching at the Chaos Warriors with halberds, while the archers continue to fire. One archer is compromised, but elsewhere the Footsquire front line is holding for now. But I think these other Bloodletters might have something to say about that. Yeah. Oh, look at you, Beast Slayers of Bastion. You're so cute and adorable. And cleaved. Them boys getting cleaved over in the distance. Valkia the Bloody and her Fleshhounds trying to hold on, but that is an awful lot of Knights, so it looks like we're going to start getting that demonic instability coming. And that's going to be pretty bad for the forces of Khorne, because then you'll get into the situation where Bretonnia has a lot of mobility and you just have infantry and they can cycle charge you pretty bad. I guess you have halberds, but I'm more worried about these Exalted Bloodletters taking a lot of damage. Kyle Lavelle is here with his 1 membership. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you, buddy. Valkia will soon be surrounded by the horsemen of Bretonnia, getting poked by spears. Lewin's popped the Sword of Khorne to try and debuff some guys. Meanwhile, archers are firing at the halberds. They're not firing at the Minotaurs of Khorne, who are currently surrounding Lewin. I'm a little concerned about that. Now halberds are surrounding him too. The archers definitely need to be punishing this, but the heavy front line of Khorne is pushing through the Footsquires darn easily. Not shocked about that. Valkia is completely surrounded in horsemen. It's getting to be about Sword of Khorne o'clock, isn't it? Been a lot of kills. Archers trying to run away from these other Bloodletters, while halberds and Minotaurs continue to surround Lewin. That's a blob. Usually blobs are a magnet for Sword of... Yep, it's right there. It's right there. It's a Sword of Khorne. I said there might be a Sword of Khorne. There's a Sword of Khorne right there. Yeah, it's a good Sword of Khorne. 4 Knights of Bretonnia all get slammed by that Sword of Khorne. Exalted Bloodletters catching up to the peasants. Flaming swords, axing these guys quite easily. Get out of my way, info card. I don't care about you. I just want to watch peasants get axed by fucking flaming swords. Yeah, you better run. You ain't got no shot. The peasants, not the Bretonnian player. I'm talking about the peasants. So Valkia is still fighting a metric shit ton of Knights, and this is definitely too many Knights all grouping up on her, as you need 1, maybe 2 tops to surround her. The rest are just going to get stuck on each other, and then of course get hit by a Sword of Khorne, but you can't prevent that. The Sword of Khorne is literally undodgeable. Get ready for the Colossal Squig DLC. I'm ready. I was born ready. Sam Goodwin, I'm ruthless. Dude, what? Where is all this negativity coming from? I already have too much negativity in my life. Get axed by flaming swords. You know what, Incars? If you weren't so smart and charming, I would have a problem with you. Knights of the Realm rear charge the Exalted Bloodletters. It's only a matter of time before those elite knights get bogged down in flaming swords and cleaved from their horsemen. I'm watching this guy with the pink hood. Look at this pink hood. Look at this pink hooded doofus. I bet he dives right now. Oh, damn it. I was wrong. But I'm invested now. I want to see how pink-headed doofus does. Oh, we're retreating. Oh, we're running away. Alright. I'm not going to let him out of my sight, but Lewin is busy getting chased around by Valkia. Khorne is overrunning the rest of the battlefield, killing everybody in their way. I'm watching out for you, pink-headed doofus. Exalted Bloodletters are surrounded, but they don't seem to care about that, as now they get to fight in every direction, which is just a win-win for them. Somehow this Trebuchet is online. In the face of adversity, it just keeps throwing rocks at stuff. Pink-headed doofus is going to come back, and we will spectate him come army losses or death. There is an end to his story. Lewin pops everything he has to stay in the fight, Sword of Khorne and Stand Your Ground and all that stuff. Pink-headed doofus is sitting near the woods thinking about whether or not he returns, whether or not Lewin is really worth risking his life for. Are you a man of Bretonnia? Or a little pink-headed bitch, you pink-headed bitch? Where is he? Show me, Pinky. You fled! You fled the king of Bretonnia! Show me your shield. What is on your shield? I don't know that house. You know why I don't know that house? Because you're a coward! You're a coward, Pink Knight. Good game, Porkenstein. Good game, brother. The halberd push did well. Bloodletters did fine. Dogs did okay. Minos did great. And the Bloodletters did better than fine, by the way. Bloodletters did fantastic. For Hectorius Rex, it was a bold build. He didn't take the one build every Bretonnian always takes. And he lost because of it. But did he truly lose? Or is he just a hero before his time? That trap got a lot of value, though. Love that. Take a caster. Take a lightning caster. Brian's Thunderbolt fucks fools up. Trust me. Oh! And more replays. I am sleepy. And I don't want to be sleepy. I want to be awake. Like a real boy. What is this? Wood Elves versus Changeling? Boring. What is this? Wood Elves versus Corn? Boring. What is this? Wood Elves versus Corn, but on the other side? Boring as well. Alright, is Trogdor in chat? Trogs. Trog, wake up. If Trogdor's not here, I'm casting this other game I got that doesn't have Wood Elves in it. King of the Hoots versus Hectorius Rex, Vampire Coast, and Skaven. I'm gonna skip all of the Wood Elf games until Trogdor makes an appearance. Oh, Trogdor's here. What up? Trog! Trog, what elf game are you casting? Sisters of Twilight versus the Changeling, or Prey of Anathema caster versus Valkia? We gotta ask Trog, because he's the Wood Elf master. While he thinks about it, dude, once I saw Trogdor take a single Waywatcher on Orion, and he beat an entire Skaven army. Now it's true, he hit Orion in the trees and had the Waywatcher turn off fire at will, and he just ran away from the Skavens. They couldn't find him, they got bored and quit. But I mean, a win's a win. You know, we take those. We take those. The other one with the Sisters of the Thorn. Bro, what? Oh, the one with the Sisters of the Thorn. I thought you meant. Okay, we're good. We're fine. I want there to be a Colossal Squig ROR. The only difference is that it gets a bound ability we can detonate it. It does more damage the more HP it's at. Ryan G, that's unironically a good idea. I love that. They should make that a thing. Normally, Ryan, normally, you make me irrationally angry, but today you're victorious. What's the secret event? What secret event? Okay, I'm back. I'm paying attention. What are we doing? We have triple Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards from Tremor versus Sigfold. Eternal Guard with Spears, 2 Treekin, Privanoth Rema, Caster, and then a Spellsinger of Life with Earthblood. We actually don't have... we have the Banner of the Eternal Queen. That's interesting. Then I thought I saw some stuff in the trees. Double Sister of the Thorn, double Glade Rider with Spears. The other side for Khorne, we have Chaos Furies in the sky, 2 Martyr Horsemen throwing axes, but then we have the new hotness that everyone is talking about. It's the new and improved Skull Cannons. They're pretty fun. I think they have defined weaknesses, and I think they have some strengths. I honestly hope they don't get buffed or nerfed. I think they're fine how they are. Then Valkia with some Minotaurs. I don't know, Skull Cannons are strong, but they have pretty low ammo, and in melee they are horrendously terrible, so going in to get their extra ammo does actually take a lot of decision making in micro, which I think if you do it well you should be rewarded, and if you do it poorly it'll instantly die, so I don't know, get fucked. Deepwood Scouts trying to fall back from the Furies. Furies getting a good charge onto them for now. Need to stay on those guys. Deepwood Scouts can fire in melee, and those magic damage arrows ain't fucking around against the Furies, who rely heavily on physical resistance. Stay alive because they're so squishy. But they kill a Deepwood Scout. Another Deepwood Scout is in danger as the Furies are charging in without much fear. think the Treekin might have to get involved just for a bit of mass between those Deepwood Scouts in danger. Don't run into the fire, Frodo! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! We're burning to death! We're burning to death! Sisters of the Thorn and the Glade Rider Spears trying to set up a flank as the Skull Cannon fires over here, accidentally hits its own Minotaurs, and this Thorn Kite Away does a lot of damage to them as well. Deepwood Scouts, 2 of them are pretty much out of the game. 1 remains. But the Treekin catch the incoming Chaos Furies, hold them in place, and actually get a good amount of damage out while the Deepwood Scouts provide a little bit of counterfire. The Eternal Guard are marching up to get into combat, though I still think Marauders will probably beat Eternal Guard with Frenzy. They have 44 melee attack. The Eternal Guard are okay, but they're no High Elf Spears. Glade Riders charging the Skull Cannon. They won't do too much damage, but they'll stop it from firing for a bit. Unfortunately for them, it will heal, and it will gain ammo off their little soiree. So we'll see how long they can last. With the rear charge from Minos and Valkia fighting, it looks like they're just going to get pushed off quickly here, while the Sisters of Thorn continue to bother that one Minotaur and give him hell. Really good Chaos Fury play here from Siegfried. Keeping them nice and persistent, not overcommitting, but are getting onto the Deepwood Scouts. I mean, they might die because that's the light of Furies, but he didn't let them just sit on those Treekin and die. Bounce power's about even. I would rather be Khorne than the Wood Elves right now, but it's not terrible. Treekin need to move up and get into the fight. Looks like they're going to do that about now. Minotaurs need to get back into the battle, and Valkia is busy chasing off Glade Riders. Doesn't want them to come back. This is Thorn fade away into the trees, as Wood Elves do. It's probably the most thematic thing that's happened so far today. It's a Skull Cannon shot onto a grouped up Deepwood Scout. Direct hit. Takes out a couple more models. Almost gets them to rout, while the Chaos Fury of Khorne, the last one alive, I believe, takes those other 2 Deepwood Scouts off the map for real. The Wood Elves are pushing up. Treekin are very good on the front line, though I imagine Minotaurs will make quick work of them. The Minos have previously been busy trying to rout off the Wood Elf Cav, but now that they're focused up, those big, heavy axes should easily get through the Treekin. How much physical resistance do you have? 20? That's not enough. You need at least 80% physical resistance if you're going to mess around with Minotaurs. And at that point, I'm just kind of scared what the Wood Elves are going to do here. I don't see where the damage comes from. You have Eternal Guard to hold, you have Treekin to hold, but hold against what? Like, for what? We have an almost dead Deepwood Scout trying to get a little bit of damage out while the Skull Cannon gets some ammo back by fighting on that front line. The Sister of Thorn still firing away. We saw they actually did do decent damage to the Minos earlier. Maybe that'll end up being enough. But the Wood Elves are starting to slowly fall behind on the bounce power. Valkia got Praven off Raymond. Not much follow-up on that one, unfortunately. I think that opportunity's gone. The Deepwood Scouts aren't healthy enough to make any, like, Praven off Raymond nuke go off. So, just netting Valkia and keeping her out of the fight for a bit while Earthbloods get popped, I suppose that's fine. Sisters of Thorn gonna finish off a Minotaur in the trees. Rout that thing away. That was their long-held journey. And now what can they do? I have underestimated Sisters of the Thorn before, but this seems like a tall task even for them. Maybe they can catch these Marauder Horsemen out of position, get a pretty big pick off there to try and rally this bounce power, but the bounce power is getting pretty bad. We still have 2 full health Minotaurs, full health Skull Cannon, a full health Valkia, and plenty of chaff besides. The Wood Elves are like literally down to just the Sisters of Thorn and the Glade Lord. That's about it. Lifecaster is so deeply piled in that you can barely find her. Sister Thorn back off. Just doing a bit more kiting. You're saying they haven't used their spells. It looks like they have used their bound spells. They each have 1 Shield of Thorns left. Minos are going for a charge. Sister's just going to run away. Kiting it out. They're kind of a hybrid cav, though, so if they're just using their ammo, then they're not getting their full effectiveness. They do need to find somewhere to take a fight. Looks like that opportunity's running out, though, as the Wood Elves run out of anybody to take the blows for them. The Sisters of Thorn are just going to be the targets, so wherever they go, they'll be chased down by these Minos. Tian, I think you might have a point there. If the Wood Elf Cav had been there to countercharge the Furies, they could have maybe kept the Deepwood Scouts online for a bit longer, but without the DPS, looks like they're going to get routed off. Nice Spirit Slap near to end the game. That was a GG's. The Sisters did pretty fine. Still pretty healthy at the late game. Treekin did Treekin things. I have a hard time justifying Treekin in a lot of my builds because they just feel too expensive to be, like, just a blocker. For Siegfalt, Valkia did alright. Marauder Horseman did alright. The Fury play was actually really good. I feel like Furies usually just dive in, suck and die, but he actually made them do pretty good work over the long term. 70 armor, yes. Just 70. Okay, we saw that. No more Wood Elves. No more. No, we will. But in a second. We'll go back for it. Tzeentch. Or Skaven. Most people are through round 3, almost on to round 4 already. Fireball's fighting Tremor. Trogdor, I'll go back for it. I just don't want to cast all the Wood Elf games in a row. What do we have here? King of the Hoots versus Hectorius Rex. For Hectorius, we have Mourngulls and Rotting Prometheans on a bit of a forest adventure. Double Depth Guard with Polearm, double Sirens, a couple handgun mobs, regular deckhands mobs, pistol mobs, and Noctilus up on his peg leg with Wind of Death, Invocation Hack, and his Summon. On the other side for the Skaven, we have Ikit Zap Zap, the Avalanche Mortar, double Jezzails. And we have 2 Doom Flayers, the Council Guard, and a whole bunch of Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves with Ikit Claw on his Doom Flayer with Crack's Call and Unlimited Power. Alright, so this is really annoying for Noctilus because he keeps getting his cooldowns reset by Ikit Zap Zap, and he is so gigantic he can't possibly dodge, so he pretty much never gets to cast a spell, which I'm sure he is a big fan of right now. Other than that, Skaven build's fine. I like some Wolf Rats in case the enemy brought dogs, but he got pretty lucky the enemy didn't bring any dogs. Doom Flayers can do okay versus dogs, but you have to get a frontal charge on them. So if you end up chasing Scurvy Dogs with these guys, they just won't get enough damage out, and the dogs get to charge whatever they wanted for free. Bye, Captain Tealus. Avalanche Mortars haven't managed to get a shot off yet, I don't think. They got 31 kills somewhere, so I wasn't looking at that, I guess, but they'll do really well versus the Sirens. They have magic damage on those volleys, so I wonder what they're going to shoot at. Noctil is still taking a lot of damage from Ikit Zap Zap. And Avalanche Mortars do need to hurry up and fight the Sirens of the Depth Guard. A little worried they're going to take too long to deal with those guys as Doom Flayers hold up the front line a little bit. The Clan Rat Spears won't last long against Sirens and Depth Guard. It's too much leadership disruption for them. Sirens are spooky. They cause terror routes. And Noctilus just has to run to the trees to get safe from Ikit Zap Zap. Definitely don't blame him there. What can the coast do? Mourngull's trying to sneak into the back line. Council Guard gonna try and head them off, as I heard a Crack's Call go down, but I did miss it, unfortunately, as I was watching these Mourngulls go. And Gunners getting taken out. The Mourngulls are gonna go for Ikit Zap Zap. I can see that. If they take him out, the Noctilus can come out of the trees and actually participate in the game. Jezzails will still be a bit of a danger, but less of a danger than the Zap Zap. Zap Zap has a longer range, but also that that cooldown reset is just really messing with what Noctilus wants to do here. The coast is having a bit of a second win. The Rotting Prometheans killed an entire Doom Flayer. The Sirens are not stopping, and the Avalanche Mortar is a bit too concerned with killing off all of the handgunners before turning on the melee infantry that it's actually running out of time. Because the Skaven frontline just buys you a bit of time, and when that time runs out, you're going to be running from Sirens for the rest of the game. So actually, I'm very concerned for the Skaven right now. I am not joking when I think the Vampire Coast is a good shot at bringing this back. Sirens try and catch the Avalanche Mortars who run away behind the Council Guard. Good for them. That's solid. And I still think the Skaven are quite ahead. They are quite ahead. It's not over just yet. It's another Cracks Call went through those Sirens, doing a little bit of damage. Ikit is disrupting a lot of these guys. Noctilus comes back in, but the Morghuls have successfully pushed off Ikit Zap Zap. Now they have to refocus onto the Avalanche Mortars, and then maybe the Jezzails, but you can't let the Avalanche Mortars kill your Depth Guard and the Sirens. You really need the Depth Guard and the Sirens to carry this for you. Siren's getting pretty low. Maybe they could use an Invocation. I'm not sure how Noctilus is doing Winds of Magic, because he also needs to heal himself up a little bit. He's going for a Wind of Death onto the Council Guard. Pretty good Wind of Death. Also goes through the Warp Block Jezzails a little bit, but the Morghuls get caught up on Skaven Slave Spears, not disrupting the ranged units that was so crucial if the Coast is going to win this game. Now the Depth Guard are paying the price for it. Over half their HP off in one sustained volley. Noctilus just took a bunch of damage from something. Don't know exactly what did that damage. It's the freed up Jezzails. So the Morghuls getting distracted and fighting clan rats or Skaven slaves or whatever the fuck is definitely a disaster for them. Now they're kind of fighting against Zap Zap, but it's too late. The two Warp Block Jezzails took out Noctilus. The Avalanche Mortars did a lot of damage to Depth Guard, and it's probably GG as Noctilus falls. At this point, it's doomed. Coast doesn't have the leadership to hang on, so they're going to start crumbling. And then even besides that, like, they don't have any magic, so no more summons, no more healing. Sirens are crumbling. These Draudic Prometheans are almost crumbling. Yeah, the Coast had a chance at a comeback. They were scrapping pretty good, but the Morghuls got distracted on targets that didn't matter at a very crucial point in the battle. And then the Wind of Death onto the Council Guard. I don't know what his Winds of Magic situation was looking like, but if he had Winds of Magic issues, like he couldn't cast more Invocations on himself, or he couldn't cast more summons to disrupt those guys, then the Wind of Death wasn't worth it. Because, I mean, the Council Guard are unbreakable, so your Wind of Death has to kill them, or don't bother, because the Sirens couldn't get through them regardless, even though they took like 2/3 of their HP in the Wind of Death. Maybe you just wanted it for the hype, in which case, sure, get it. It was pretty hype. Wind of Death is always an exciting one. It gets popping unlimited power. The last strength of the Vampire Coast is this pretty healthy Depth Guard that is currently healing up off of killing Council Guard. As the Avalanche Mortars try and get some space so they can stop and fire at these guys. Morghuls sing their last hurrahs. Ikit and the Doomflayer crews try and peel them back. Avalanche Mortars, 9 out of 12 models. If they can get any distance from the Depth Guard, they can fire in on those guys. Are all the Jezzails dead? Yeah. Ikit Zap Zap's dead. Depth Guard are still actually healing up. I'm getting a little concerned. Bounce Power is going to army loss the Vampire Coast before long, but I'm getting a little concerned. There we go. Army loss is happening. Ikit and the Doomflayers were actually doing fine with this Depth Guard anyway. Council Guard as well. Coast build definitely had some concerns there. Noctilus of Foot is nearly impossible to snipe out. On his Colossus, he gets boned. Yeah, the Skaven are real good at shooting, and unfortunately Noctilus on his peg leg is easy to shoot. Jezzail is amazing value. Avalanche Mortars did fine. Doomflayers tried to hold up the front line, and it gets Zap Zap. Great value. Rictorious Rex. It was a bold build. And like I said, he scrapped back into it. He started the game very far behind from how much Noctilus got pushed back, and then he got it close at one point, and then it fell away from him, so... Pretty admirable performance from the Admiral. Alright. Let me save up some replays here I got from the folks. Let me save some of these. How are we doing on the replays? Not replays. How are we doing on the things? So 3 out of 4 rounds are done. Let me check in on scores. This is the part where a lot of people start leaving because I'm doing admin stuff and they're like, I'm bored, and they leave, but don't be like them. Don't do that. Fireball Phoenix with a perfect run so far, and no one else has a perfect run so far. So Fireball Phoenix beats Silco, which I don't think Silco has been here. No, Silco beat Johnny Cash, so Silco's somewhere. They lost to Grimbat. So if Fireball beats Silco, they win the whole tournament. If not, we might have ties. Actually, we will have a tie, because if Fireball loses to Silco, then Silco has 3-0. Oh, 3-1. Would tie. So we'll see. Moving on. More Vampire Coast. We'll skip that for a second, go back to Wood Elves. So we're always showing different factions. Never repeat a faction. Hey, we have 71 people watching at this time of night. That's not entirely typical. If you are not subscribed, think about doing that. We are rubbing. We're not rubbing our subathon. We're running our subathon. Not that. Ignore that. That tournament's shit. That tournament's garbage. This one? Yeah, that one. Subathon! We're 150 subscribers away from the Ice Bath questionnaire stream. So, we have all of December to get those. So I'm feeling confident. But still, I mean, throw your hat in the ring, get the subscribers out there, get us closer to those goals so you get the good content. Because if we don't hit that, I'm gonna make shit content. I'm just gonna keep coasting like I have been for the last year. Everybody's like, Human Boy makes shit content now. Yeah, that's because you guys don't push me. Alright? The subathon, it's a way to push me. Subscribe. Make me try. Make me work hard again. Jesus Christ. Are Lizards versus Skaven still Skaven favored? No, I think it's pretty even after the changes. It used to be horrible for Lizardmen, and then they got a bunch of buffs that were relevant in the Skaven matchups, and now it's even-ish. Lizards have some stuff that they can do that's pretty spooky. Skaven still have a lot of the normal stuff that's pretty strong. But that's not what we're doing. We're talking about a different game right now. Wood Elves versus Tzeentch. Sisters of Twilight up in the sky with Eagle Quiver and then their Dragon Breath attack. We have some Deepwood Scouts, 2 Wild Riders, one of which is the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Then War Dancers and Eternal Guard mixed throughout with some Glade Guard and a Life Caster Dwellers Below and Regrove? Yes. Yes. The other side for Tzeentch, we have Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, 2 of those. We have the Changeling Grom the Paunch leading the Tzeentch forces. And then Blue Horrors and Zongors mixed in with a Cultist with Fireball, Burning Head, and Flaming Sword of Ruin. We do have a Mutal Vortex Beast who is currently getting slowly shot to death by the Sisters of Twilight. The Wood Elves are determined not to be chill about this Mutal Vortex Beast existing. Blue Horrors try and punish Sisters as a Fireball comes for her. If that hits her, this game is over. Holy shit, oh my god, Tzeentch wins! Tzeentch fucking wins! They did it! They killed them all! Grom the Tzeentch? Yeah. It's Grom the Tzeentch. What does he even get for being that? He gets Language of Du Bois and the Great and Sincere. He doesn't get his Lucky Banner or Axe of Grom. Whatever. Blue Horrors moving up, gonna get some Hybrid Fire in, but they are in range of these Glade Guard now with the magic damage Hagbane tips. It's a bad time to be a Blue Horror. He now is the best chariot on Tzeentch. True, Grom is better than any Tzeentchian chariot. I was briefly distracted by a kitty cat. He demands scritches and pets. So Sisters and the Wood Elves are plenty happy to just keep firing right now. Tzeentch might need to move up a little more aggressively. Not need to as in like rule break, but need to as in winning the game. Rule break, they're fine. They've been attacking in some form this whole time. Wild Hunters Kurnos catch the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch. briefly napping, but they react pretty quickly, don't get caught entirely for free, and start to run away as the Blue Horrors get back in range of the Eternal Guard. And now Zongors are also committing. Mutalith Vortex Beast trying to get in there as archers turn and fire at it. The Wood Elves don't have any cavalry in this immediate area that can stop it, so if it can get onto the archers, it can do good work, but the Mutalith Vortex Beast and the Incarnate Elemental Beast both used to be crazy OP, and how far they have fallen as this thing runs into some archers and immediately dies. 70 armor, no physical resistance, not that that would help against Wood Elves anyway. 15% missile resistance. It's not enough to keep it up and running, so it does get shut down immediately. Dwellers Below out from the Wood Elves actually does more friendly fire than it was worth, so I would call that a win for Tzeentch. As you see, Dwellers Below locks the Wild Hunters of Kurnoss in, so it actually does a lot of damage to them. And the Cultist, he was prepping something. I got distracted by the Dwellers' friendly fire. Hey! Grom the Tzeentch is back here. He's doing Grom things. Now he's surrounded by War Dancers, so that's going to be bad. I see a Dragon Shadow coming, so that's going to be bad. And he's dead. He's dead and gone. Hey, the sisters are walking sideways. That's extra neat. Okay, that was cringe and weird, and no one liked that at all. The sisters are trying to stop Grom. Wood Elf front line is engaged with the Tzeentch front line. Overall, that's probably going to be Tzeentch favored. Here comes our first regrowth for the Wild Hunters of Kurnoss. I like how that mage, Dwellers Below, killed them all and then apologized with a regrowth. Just like an, oopsie, I'm so sorry for Dwellers Below killing all of you. Here's a regrowth. I'm so random, teehee. Whatever, elves. Elven bullshit. Grom's just trying to get to safety while the sisters lurk above him and occasionally shoot shots directly onto his head. Wild Hunters of Kurnoss easily rout those Zongors with a rear charge. Other Wild Riders going to rally and fight the Mutalith Vortex Beast, which it can't get away. It might want to turn and fight them. I don't know how long it would last, but might do better that way. Because Grom just keeps healing. Trying to, at least. Now he's poisoned a lot. And he's running. Mutalith Vortex Beast does get rear charged by the Wild Riders. Tries to drain them down, but doesn't really have the gusto, so immediately just routes again. And with Grom routing, Mutalith routing, and then a tier 3 Tzeentch army ability trying to kill off these War Dancers, but it looks like the Wood Elves see it. They immediately get orders to run deeper into enemy lines and get to safety there. And I think they got it. Bop, bop. Ooh, that was a lot of damage actually from the sisters. Goddamn. Wild Hunters of Kurnoss should be able to take out the Changeling. Wild Riders should be able to kill off the Mutalith Vortex Beast. And then that'll be the doom of Tzeentch. Never mind. Grom will rally. Because he's going to heal and then come back. Yeah, he'll be fine. I don't know if Tzeentch will be fine, but Grom will be fine. Blue Horror starting to demonic stability crumble. The Mutalith Vortex Beast is still draining down these Wild Riders that are taking forever to kill it there at Shattered. Just leave it alone. It's army losses, doesn't matter. It's army losses, it doesn't matter. People are sending me replays. Is that Turin? Oh, okay. I was like, if Turin's streaming again, I'm gonna be so mad. He's always streaming when I'm streaming. Who does he think he is? Alright, for this game in front of us, Johnny Cash, 2,100 value on the Sisters of Twilight. And they actually did do pretty good. Their sniping was consistent and annoying for multiple Tzeentch forces. Archers all did quite well. Wild Hunters of Kurnoss and the other Wild Riders did fine. For Porkenstein, Grom the Paunch unfortunately was not it. Did not pay back for the Changeling at all. Skirmish Cav did okay. Mutalith Vortex Beast also struggled quite a lot. The Zongor Blue Horror frontline did fine, but the Mutalith and the Changeling both failing Porkenstein really set him back quite a lot. Alright, looking for any repeats. Oh god, they're not repeats at all. None of them are repeats. This can't be allowed. A mage can do no wrong. I think she can do wrong when she Dwellers Below her own units. That feels pretty wrong. Siegfalt versus Tremor. And it is Khemri. Double War Sphinxes versus Vampire Counts. It seems like it might be Blobby. I'll leave it for later. We'll see how we're feeling after that. Alright, let's do some King of the Hoots and Grimbat. Paying tax is the most patriotic thing you can do for your Chaos God. Sure. Sure it is. King of the Hoots versus Grimbat. Grimbat, the handgunner and deckhand mob frontline. 2 hand cannons this time. They said they wanted that in the first game, but they accidentally took deck gunners. Shade Wraith gunners, 1 Carronade, Lamper's Revenge, Animated Hulks, and Count Noctilus on foot with Melkoths and Pit of Shades. No Invocation of Heck. No summons. King of the Hoot seems very happy that this fight is happening. He just says, ah, this fight. On the other side for Tzeentch, Exalted Pink Horrors, Zongor sprinting forward. We have Village the Cursling, Exalted Hero of Tzeentch, Severed Claw, Chaos Horrors with Halberds, and a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. Exalted Hero is gonna kite away on his disc. He's pretty flighty, but that is an awful lot of guns mulching the Zongors right now. As one of the Zongors is gonna rout before he even hits the front line. The other one's at half HP before he gets there. Looks like both of them are routing. Exalted Pink Horror's in range, but what can they do? I guess hit a hand cannon, it's not bad. Ooh, and hit the Shade Wraith Gunners, that's very good for the Exalted Pinks. Shade Wraith Gunners trading back in kind, but yeah, their physical resistance not helping them at all here. 55% physical resistance, just getting nuked. But Demonic Instability quickly enough with the Discourage from the Shade Wraith Gunners. Should save the Shade Wraiths for a little bit so they can get a couple more volleys off in the late game. There's a Melkoth on those Exalted Pinks. There's not a lot that can actually follow up on that Melkoths currently. We have handgunners and Shade Wraith Gunners trying to shoot the Severed Claw. Noctilus charges in from behind, but he is being pursued by a Disc Rider. Takes a ton of damage, I think, from the Soul Grinder hitting at the exact same time as the Exalted Hero. So Noctilus is in a bit of trouble. Lamper's Revenge starting to move up, but we have a bunch of handguns and hand cannons moving into fight, and zombies are starting to chase off these guys. So pretty quickly, the Coast can set up a firing line on the side and like shoot in here so that they don't get obstructed by their own forces, but Noctilus needs to back off. Remember, he did not take Invocation to Heck. He didn't even take the Hunger, so there's no healing whatsoever for Noctilus, and he's even starting to crumble as he tries to run away. The guns are trying to make everybody else pay for it, while Noctilus chucks out a Pit of Shades behind him to catch some of the Exalted Pink Horrors, to catch some of the Zongors. A bit of 2-for-1 action. The Carronade is shooting at Village. Overall, the Coast's still doing okay if Noctilus can get away to safety. As we said, he is on borrowed time. 1,000 HP left, and the Soul Grinder Tzeentch is still poking away at him. Cannon's probably going to start shooting against this Soul Grinder. It's going to be hard for them to see anything here. I guess now that Village is running away, they might get some shots off here and there, but a lot of stuff's routing. Noctilus, there's a big rock right here. Get behind the big rock. Take that big rock, get behind it. Shade Wraith Gunners adding their valuable Discourage to try and get these Exalted Heroes to rout a little bit earlier, just push them away from the front line. Village under attack by cannon fire will make it a lot harder for him to come back, since he'll always have that under artillery fire debuff. He's back briefly, and then he runs away again as the handgunners continue to push him off. Noctilus refuses to get behind the rock, instead standing with his pride at Pride Rock, the Rock of Pride. Exalted Hero should be back. I don't think the Shade Wraith Gunners can really keep him routing, even Discouraged. I mean, he has 29 leadership, for God's sakes. We have a forgotten Animated Hulk in the woods, but they do not need it as the Coast has thoroughly shot Tzeentch to death. Noctilus is going to fade away. I don't think it'll matter. 1 full health Halberd, a full health Soul Grinder with no ammo will not carry this game, even if you finish sniping out Noctilus. As the cannons keep trying to kill Village, who's down to 7 HP. I want to see the cannonball that ends him. I want to see it. There he goes. Village is dead, and just like that, the leadership of Tzeentch falls apart. Army loses hits, and even without Noctilus, they win. The Rock, also known as the anti-Zaytang tech. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It kept us alive in a faction war just for Alfredino to immediately kick our ass. Good win from Grimbat. We're happy they didn't quit the game. We would have missed them. The handgunners and hand cannons mixed backlines always do pretty well for me. I think handgunners are the best unit in the Coast roster. I always bring 5. Karenade did very, very well. Shader's gunners also did quite nicely. King of the Hoots. He just struggled. A bit of a heavy armor front line that just couldn't get enough damage out quickly enough. Too elite of a Zinj build versus the Coast, though. King of the Hoot does whatever he wants, so I doubt he's really too upset. I have a message. It's from Fireball. This determines everything. Report your score! Report it! If Fireball beats Silco, nothing else matters. If Silco beats Fireball, I have to figure out tiebreakers, so... For the simplicity of my little rat brain, I hope Fireball won. Man. Who won, you bastards? Ah, Silco won! Fuck, I have to figure out tiebreakers. Shit. Okay. That's fine. So Tremor and King of the Hoots are fighting. If King of the Hoots wins, he also joins the tiebreaker games. Okay. Johnny Cash? Okay. Yeah, so it's just King of the Hoot Hoots who could get into the tiebreaker. Understood. Are any of you people repeats? Okay. We had a Skaven Grand Cathay game. This is the first of Silco, who you knew went 3-1 in the bracket stage, so they're apparently pretty good versus Grimbat. We ended up going 2-2, not bad themselves. Let's see if this is a win or a loss for either of them, because it actually could be. I don't know which game Silco lost. I don't know which games Grimbat won. So for the Skaven, I've increasingly thought that this is a bad matchup for the Skaven, because there's just so much Grand Cathay can do. Skaven brought some Poison Wind Globes, he brought the Avalanche Mortars, Warp Lightning Cannons, and that is a missile mirror from the Jet Lions onto the Avalanche Mortars. I just like watching them bomb themselves. I think it's hilarious. Come on, fire again. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, it sucks to be you, doesn't it? Anyway, Grayseer with the Red 13th and the Howling Warp Gale. Then we have some Night Runners and Rat Ogres and other shit. For Grand Cathay, double Jet Lion. Yenbo, the Jade Dragon, with his Execution, then Jade Shield and Net. Then we have Peasant Archers, Iron Hail Gunners, Jade Warriors, and that's about it. We have some Peasant Horsemen in the back, double Firing Rocket, and more Peasant Long Spears. Now it does look to me like Night Runners are going to get onto these Firing Rockets in not too much time, and they could even get onto the Peasant Archers. Should be going into melee. Night Runners are a hybrid melee unit versus just Peasant Archers and Iron Hail Gunners, who are all ranged. You would want to kill them swiftly. As Poison Globadiers are trying to throw at Yumbo, they accidentally hit their own clan rats, and the Firing Rockets don't make that any easier. Let me tell you what. Bounce power is a little even right now as the Jet Lion's taking a lot of damage in this kerfuffle. Warp Lightning Cannon's about offline. I mean, the crew is back here somewhere, but they could come back. You don't know. Yembo's up in the sky. So here's the thing I was worried about, is the Night Runners getting back here onto the Fire and Rockets, pushing those guys off quickly, pushing away the Peasant Long Spears, Peasant Archers, where they should get on the Iron Hail Gunners next. Skaven are fighting back pretty good. I think you need the Celestial Lion in this matchup, just a normal Celestial Lion. It's -8 leadership roar, plus causing terror is really brutal. The Jet Lion doesn't actually cause terror, it just causes fear. So Skaven are able to hold on in the face of it. Yembo's back here causing disruption. Skaven are ahead on the balance of power as Cathay appears to be losing steam quite badly. I would definitely agree that the Skaven are ahead right now. Look at you, Jet Lion. Your missile mirror is funny and kind of cursed, but also you're still a terrible unit. All you are is a missile mirror. Everything else about you sucks. I hate the Jade and Jet Lion. I think they're terrible. What up, Necromancer? How you doing? I still think you have won the first game we did without a DC. Oh, there was a DC? Lame. Celestial Lion also removes ITP, which is annoying, and it's pretty annoying, though. For the Skaven, it's not that big of a deal. They don't have that much ITP going around. Rat Ogre's charging to Yembo, who is also on top of Clan Rats. Won't enjoy that. And Yembo hasn't used any of his Lord sniping capabilities. In fact, he hasn't used, like, any spells at all, because he has Jade Shield and Net, which he can't use in his Dragon form. But this is the whole reason you take Yembo, is to get the Grace here. I don't know. I have a pretty nasty anti-Skaven build as Cathay. I don't know if I want to reveal it to you people yet, but it is pretty nasty. Look at Yembo just go to town on this guy. With the Iron Hail Gunner support nearby too, he's actually going to get the Gracier in execute ranges. He's just going to execute his ass and probably win the whole game off executing the Gracier. Good Globe Volley plus the Scorch, get rid of that thing. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save the Gracier. Yembo needs one more hit. Now he might be in execute range. That or one more melee attack. Okay, yeah, you can execute him now. So you should see a zoop and then he'll die. Zoop. He died. The old zoop and die. Cathay is generally routing everywhere though, so I don't know if even Yembo could carry this with just shitty Skaven leadership things. He only has a Jet Lion to back him up. Ooh, Jet Lion with the missile mirror, but the globes aren't throwing anything right now. No, Jet Lion, no. Is Harry the Hammer still ridiculous for Undead faction? Only the counts? He's still pretty good versus Coast. I do think it goes, he's by far the best versus the Counts. I think he's still good versus the Coast, and versus the Tomb Kings, I don't think he's relevant. They've moved past that sort of fear. Alright, Yembo took out the Warp Lightning Cannon. It's about to charge back through these guys. We have some Peasant Archers back in the distance, but it really is, can Yembo just terror out this entire build? Alright, those two are still playing. So the players aren't waiting on me. I was like, if King of the Hoot Hoots has finished his game, I might want to tell people to go do things. I'm going to play this at ×2 speed while we watch. Like, it's literally, can Yembo just cycle route this entire army because they lost their lord? Yes, no. I don't know how he kills the Rat Ogres on his own. That's actually going to be really hard for him. So I think he might just lose. Yeah, he's gonna lose, for sure. He doesn't have Zhao Ming's heal, so it's not like he gets a big heal out of nowhere, and he just can't deal with these Rat Ogres. I think he's gonna die right here. I mean, Globe's nuking the shit out of their own Rat Ogres isn't great, so don't do that. But, yeah, he GG's out. Your game is still going? Well, then why are you typing? Go play your game! Good win by Grimbet. Good job. Delivering Silco their only loss. So that's something to be proud of. I don't love this Grand Cathay build, personally. It's too confused. It's too confused. I don't like it. I also don't really want to reveal my anti-Skaven Cathay build. So I'm not going to. But I have one. What is it right now? It is 4-0. Yes, 4-0. Is this our first Lizardman of the night from Mr. Cash? I think this is our first Lizardman of the night from Mr. Cash. Extra 20 armor on ghouls makes counts S tier. I don't think that's true, Necromancer. I think you're being silly. Alright, Johnny Cash versus Hectorius Rex, our first Empire and our first Lizardman of the night. And the Empire took an entirely honorable build, which is commendable. So thank you, Hectorius Rex, for playing all the Empire units I like and none of the Empire units I don't like, which makes this a based build. For the Lizardmen, we have some Salamander Hunting Packs, some basic Croxagores, a Slann of Fire with Burning Head and Banishment to get rid of a lot of state troops, Skinks, Chameleon Stalkers, and then Ripperdactyls in the Vanguard, including Klosta Hunters. For the Empire, it's my favorite Empire type build. I love it. Outriders, state troops, some swordsmen, some halberdiers. We have great swords in the back, handgunners. Boris Todbringer on foot. Okay, this is too Chad for me to deal with, but I will somehow endure. Shadows Caster with Pendulum, Pit of Shades, and Melkoths. And then we have a great cannon and a Demigryph Knight with halberds. Okay. Now, if you're talking about like crazy effective highest win rate builds, this is not a Empire build for that, because it doesn't have a steam tank or a land ship or other broken things. Though, to be fair, I actually do... I do say you can't bring those in my tournaments, so... whatever. I still think there's more degenerate Empire builds out here, and this is pretty honorable as far as they go. Demigryph Knight's trying to catch some of the Ripperdactyls, and unless the Ripperdactyls have constant attack orders to get out of here, they will sink back to the ground and die. But it looks like they actually have orders, so Johnny Cash on top of his micro, just trying to keep his guys moving. Outriders about to get dove by the Ripperdactyls. They're going to get flanked by Chameleon Stalkers as well, so there's not too many places for them to go. Meanwhile, the frontline fight is in. Croxagores trying to help burst through that front line. We should be seeing Burning Heads and Banishment soon. He did take the Slann entirely to kill infantry, so I imagine we'll see one like here. Yeah, still probably here, yeah. Because they're still kind of in a row. Burning Head, woo! That should be 2 routing state troops. So Lizardman backline's doing good. Chameleon Stalkers plus the Ripperdactyls dealt with a great cannon. Now they're just causing some disruption. Demigryph Knights peeled off the Ripperdactyls, but the other 2 got away. So one of the 3 Rippers is dead. And this is a no healing Lizardman build versus honestly a no healing Empire build. I mean, yeah, you have the Midland Runefang on foot, Boris, so maybe calm down there, Chief. I have a ping. What's the ping about? Who's pinging me? What do you want? What's the ping about? What do you want? It's the final game. What's the final regular game? 1 second. Who won? Who won? Okay, Silco and Fireball Phoenix are our only people. So I'll tell them to fight each other again. Alright, sorry. I told our finalists that they were the finalists. They have to go fight. So Fireball, Phoenix, and Silco will be fighting to see who wins the tournament. But now that they're not waiting for me, we can continue on with this game. Shadows Caster just overcast something somewhere for some reason. Melkoth's upgraded. Does that actually do more damage, or does that just increase its range like Spirit Leech? I think it just increases its range, but I could be wrong. Demigryph Knights with Halberds in a fantastic fight. Colossus Hunters also do a lot of damage back to them, but I still think the Demigryphs would rather catch those flying birds than the birds would rather fight the Demigryphs. Could be wrong about that. The Empire State Troop front line is starting to falter quite a bit as the Kroxigors and Salamanders and Burning Heads have taken their toll, but there is a secondary and even a third line of state troops. We see your Halberds and Spears in the back moving up, Great Swords still running around, and Boris and his Shadowcaster are, of course, super healthy. Riperdactyls disrupt the last of the handguns. I think this is the last of the handguns. Yeah, everything else is dead. Colossus Hunters back in the fight. Demigryph Knights with Halberds still pretty healthy, and fighting on top of Greatswords and Spearmen will not be a win yet. It looks like the Riperdactyls immediately see that and start to back off. James Davis cheering for Fireball. That is great. We love that. Alright, I'm done reading chat. The chat's dead to me. As we have some Salamanders trying to kite back here for Johnny Cash. Halberdiers, we're thinking about chasing them, but now they're gonna go reform lines. I don't know who's gonna win. Because the Salamanders can kite for quite a while, but they're also Salamanders, so I think they're bad. I don't put much faith in their kiting. And meanwhile, you're gonna take Melkoths over and over again, though there is also a Slann that can do that. That is a Burning Head Slann, and when most of what you have left is infantry, I get concerned. Maybe the Demigryph Knights with Halberds can hard carry this game, however. There's still a full health Kroxigor, still a full health Colossus Hunter. Demigryphs are spooky. Spooky, scary Demigryphs. Wait a second. We have an Empire player playing the Sterling flag, and they didn't take Sterling's Revenge! I love Sterling's Revenge. Salamanders are good, you fool. I'll believe it when I see them do literally anything ever. This one has used a lot of its ammo. This one's used a lot of its ammo, and it's gotten 400 value. That's pretty cool. Demigryph Knights with Halberds do need new orders. They need to come back to the battle. They were trying to chase these Rippers who got up into the sky, but they're really needed elsewhere. Because they could be charging in this back line right now. There's not a whole lot the Lizardmen could do to stop them. But now they're just wildly out of position. So the Colossus Hunters will probably get a free rear charge onto these Great Swords while the Kroxigors come in from the front. And the Sandwich should do enough damage and shock their leadership enough that they'll just get pushed away. Another Melkoths to annoy the Kroxigors, and it actually looks like the Colossus Hunters are going for the Grey Wizard. As the Demigryph Knights go after the Chameleon Stalkers, I don't love that. They've really got to be somewhere else. They can't be spending their time chasing around random dumb fucks that no one cares about. Like, they gotta, they're the Empire's carry potential for this game, so they've got to be where the fighting is thickest. As right now, state troops just getting picked off. Yeah, there goes another Burning Head down line these Great Swords. 95 armor is a hell of a drug, but still decent damage down. And the Demigryph Knights are still chasing Chameleon Stalkers. Get in here! Get it! Demigryph Knights now starting to join the real fight. Colossus Hunters got back into the sky. They'll need to team up with the Kroxigors to fight these guys. Blood Statue to Spite. Ooh, that is really good. Blood Statue to Spite plus a big volley from the Salamanders onto the Demigryph Knights. Salamanders don't do a ton of damage, but they do have anti-large on their missile strength. So they are much happier shooting the Demigryph Knights than they are shooting random-ass state troops. The Salamanders are just peppering these guys with fire, pushing them away. And that might be the end of it. If the Demigryph Knights can't get a good engagement here, now there's no state troop support left, so it's just going to be Colossus Hunters and Kroxigors surrounding these guys while they get shot by the Salamanders, and that'll probably be GG. Lil Trill, what up? What up? Hope you're doing good. In the interest of casting all the games and going to bed at a reasonable time... Okay, never mind. If the Empire was just going to keep running around, I was going to ×2 speed it, but it looks like we might have an engagement here as the Colossus Hunters pop their Toad Rage, but also Cold-Blooded so they don't rampage. But still, that'll be good damage on the Demigryph Knights, and that's all you really need at this point is just damage. Whittle them down, get rid of them. Kroxigors can finish off Boris and the Grey Wizard easily enough. And the Demigryph Knights perform a admirable last stand, but it is just that, a last stand. Alright, at this point, 2-foot heroes are not going to be able to beat all these lizardmen, so I will play at ×2 speed so we can get to other replays in expedient time, but mark my words, those Empire heroes are fucked. Basic Kroxigors do a lot of damage to them. A Pit of Shades was trying to get cast, but the Grey Wizard got knocked over, so it did cancel the cast, and now Salamander's going to shoot for a little bit. Another Melkoth's is out. If they can route that Wizard, that would be hugely beneficial, because then you can blob on Boris without fear, because, you know, Pit of Shades won't show up. But look how, like, cautious they've gotten since the Pit of Shades. Okay, gets cost on a Kroxigor. It does decent damage since he was routing anyway, might as well pop it, but... Now they just shoot at Boris. Rippers are gonna escort the Grey Wizard, ×3 speed. Boris is just getting shot. Shouldn't let the Grey Wizard come back for free like that. As Melkoth hits him. Ripper's back onto him, chase him away again. Boris is fully surrounded, and that's GG. Good win. Sneaky Empire build. Chameleon Stalkers were annoying for the backline. Ripperdactyls had really good micro on them. Salamanders... Wow, one didn't even pay for himself, and he used all that ammo. Where was Franz when the backfold burned? I'm reading Lord of the End Times right now, and Karl Franz is actually kind of badassing it up. It's the only redeeming quality of that book is Karl Franz's being a badass. I'm not sold on Outriders. Some people really like Outriders. I'm just not one of them. I think they miss too much. Alright, I heard that there was a Skaven Chaos Dwarf artillery duel. So we'll check that out. When is Franz not a badass? When he's barely ever on screen? Why do we have 80 viewers right now? What's that about? I'm not complaining, but I am asking. Who the fuck are you people? Who's excited for this next DLC to finally be when we break out of obscurity and the world recognizes that we are a YouTube channel that exists? Alrighty, for the builds, we have a Lammasu Firecaster, and then double Deathstreak Rocket Launcher and a Skullcracker with the Dreadquake Mortar, 2 Infernal Guard in the forest, and then a bunch of Goblin Laborers and Hobgoblin Sneaky Gits. On this side, for the Skaven, a Warp Lightning Cannon, It gets Zap Zap for a second one, Avalanche Mortars and regular Poison Wind Mortars, 2 Plague Claw Catapults, a bunch of Rat Ogres, Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves, with Ikit Claw with Flensing Ruin. This is certainly one of the artillery duels of all time. Dreadquake Mortar is about to rout that Warp Lightning Cannon. Its crew just took way too much damage. They might even shatter. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the Warp Lightning Cannons have taken out one of the Deathstreak Rocket Launchers, and the Goblin front line is getting massacred by the Poison Wind Mortars right now. That is a dead Deathstreaker. So both sides down an artillery piece. Uh-oh. That is another routing unit. That crew's taking too much damage from the artilleries. They're gonna dismount, and then you'll see how much damage they've actually taken, because they're probably on the shattering point again. They're gonna hang on. It can Zap Zap, more heroic than most. I don't know what the Plague Claws are gonna do. I guess they're just shooting at random-ass goblins right now. Same with the Poison Wind Mortars, as the goblins are all routing. Bonk. Zap Zap routes off. Now there's no single entity shooting artillery for the Skaven, so they're going to kill all the goblins pretty easily, but they can't stop that Dread Mortar from doing what it wants. Yeah, it can Zap Zap even shattered, so no hope there. They now fire upon the Death Mortars. Oh, that's a miss. It's gonna be less of a miss. There we go. Infernal Guard hiding in the trees. Lamasu Caster still chilling as well. And that is a Skullcracker Dreadquake Mortar, by the way. So it's not even like, oh, if I get caught, I'm just going to die instantly thing. I love how completely they're ignoring the Plague Claw Catapults. Sick dodge from the Avalanche Mortars. Dodges both of those volleys. Plague Claw Catapults are now trying to hit the Death Shrieker rocket launcher. It's serpentining. It's actually trying to dodge. How cute. How adorable. Infernal Guard have been spotted. There's still a lot of anti-infantry artillery left that can kill these two Infernal Guard rather quickly. Okay, Chaos Dwarves are not happy about that as the Dreadquake Mortar fires straight into a tree. Wastes some of its precious ammo. It shouldn't be here. I mean, as you just saw, the trees can block its shots, and it's hiding from nothing. There's no threat to it at all in this battlefield. Avalanche Mortar is still healthy, which is a huge problem for the Infernal Guard. Hey, that shot actually got through. Good for you, that shot. Got Shrieker Rocket Launcher thinking about running away. In comes the Avalanche Mortars, though, so say goodbye to your Infernal Guard friends. Yep. Feels good. So those guys are fucking dead. Both the catapults are still trying to hit this Death Shrieker Rocket Launcher, and they might rout it due to the contaminated and shot by artillery debuffs. That's kind of fun. But one whole Infernal Guard has been deleted, Skaven ahead of the balance of power. And Hobgoblin Sneaky Kids catch the Plague Claw Catapults. What is that Poison Mortar aiming for? Look at this. Look at that volley. It was aiming for something in this region. The Avalanche Mortars did it too. Just like, oh, let's just cover this whole fucking region. You're gonna need a whole new quadrant after this one. What are you aiming at? What are you possibly aiming at? What is happening with these mortar shots? They've covered the whole map. Holy fuck! What are you aiming at? Oh my god! It comes in here and groups them up just like, hey, fucking pay attention. Where is this going? Where the shit? What? Okay, I've seen this happen before. If anybody remembers my campaign against Radiant Ash in campaign, for some reason Poison Mortars have a bug where if you have a unit in the forest, they just randomly aim super far away. But like, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, it's missing a lot. Now we play the rest of the game at ×3 speed as we see if the Skullcracker can kill literally everything. Whee! Whee! Skullcracker! Whee! It should have fire at will on, because then it would fire in melee, but it doesn't look like it does, so he's actually taking a lot of damage extra. Lamasu Mount's trying to snipe out Ikit Claw. He does silence Ikit Claw, so he can't cast Flensing Ruin as long as he's near him. But there is a Flensing Ruin at last. The Skullcracker's still running around. And the Lamasu Mount should have stayed on Ikit so he couldn't cast those spells. Bit of a whoopsie there. There we go. So it could silence the end, but now there's Rat Ogre support. Skullcracker is nowhere nearby. So Skaven will be victorious this day. Suppressing fire! GG. Charmer with the dub. Tremor with the dub. Tremor. Trevor? Tremor. I know it's Tremor. I think I said Trevor because I'm, dumb. Which tracks. Alright, finalize tournament so I can close this tab and Turin doesn't yell at me for not finalizing my tournaments. Hey, we have 83 people here. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. Calm down. It's not about that. Hang on. So, I have a super fun tournament planned. check that out. It's on Total Tavern right now. I know it's during filthy EU times, but if you can play, I think it'll be fun. I'm going for like, you know how in campaign, so here's the thing, in multiplayer, all you see is like skink cohorts because you need cheap stuff to fill the front line. You only have so much money. Whereas in campaign, you have infinite money. We're going for that. So we're going large armies, which means you have 40 unit slots, infinite money, literally too much money. You cannot spend it all. And then otherwise you have unit caps on. So before you start thinking like, I'm going to take like 5 thunder barges, teehee. Nah, unit caps limits you to 1. I'm not talking about my unit caps. I'm talking about CAs. Just hit the unit caps button and then build an army. So that'll still limit you to 3 RSEs, which is rare single entities, like the Tomb King's Cats or the Kadai Destroyer. So it won't just be, I take 19 Kugath Plague Fathers or some shit like that. But it still should be fun. Should be silly content. And it'll be hype. So if you have time, join that. Because I'm proud of it. And it'll be fun. Onward! Onward! We've cast a lot of Grimbat. Let's make sure we get everybody else out here. Oh, this is funny. Actually, yeah, we're doing this. So, this is not our finals match, but it is our finals match up. Siegfalt was having a perfect tournament run, and Silco had lost once to Grimbat, actually. And this was round 4, so this determined if Siegfalt won the whole tournament or needed to tiebreak with Silco. So they're doing the finals right now. So, little spoilers on how this specific game goes, but it's a nice amuse-bouche, a nice teaser, a nice taste test for what our finals looks like. So these are our 2 finalists, but this is not the finals. Bye, Trogdor. Okay, so for Siegfalt, we have Sisters of Twilight on their Dragon Mount. Then we have War Dancers for a front line. The Zotes, Enigmas of Gairon, ROR Zotes. Then Glade Guard, a lot of Glade Guard. Some War Dancers with Azrai Spears, and a Branch Wraith for a caster. Really nice dodge there. I don't know if it was intentional, but really nice dodge. For the High Elves of Silco, we have the Fireborn, Silverhelms, Teclis with Flock of Doom and Net, no regrowth. Spearman frontline, a shit ton of regular-ass archers, and then some Eagle Claw bolt throwers. No regrowth for these Dragon Princes, the Fireborn or otherwise. Melkoths plus a Withering Fire from the Glade Guard already takes half HP off the Fireborn. No regrowth for them. They are stuck with the HP they get. Dragon Prince is moving in. And that is going to be a net from Teclis. Do all the archers focus fire the Enigmas, or what are they going to do here? Is nice overcasted Flock of Doom on a whole bunch of people while the Dragon Princes dive into the back line. Now all the archers get orders to shoot at the Enigmas? Nope, still just Eagle Bolt throwers. Okay, well that net unfortunately didn't amount to too much as the Dragon Princes are starting to run into the back line. Fireborn going to peel off and rear charge the Enigmas while these guys run over here and cause more disruption to the Glade Guard. But Glade Guard are hardy folk. 27 melee defense isn't like a ton, but it's a lot for an archer. It can really slow down how quickly your cavalry kill them. And do this, yeah, where it's like the Dragon Princes and the Silverhelms each knock down 1, but the other ones that aren't getting knocked down will just turn and fire, and it takes you so long to actually kill the Glade Guard. Meanwhile, the Fireborn got knocked out, and the Enigmas of Gairon are back. Starting to fight here with the Silverhelms and Teclis. Gonna do a little bit of peeling. But the High Elf archers are not fucking around. There are so many of them left. The High Elf cavalry has suffered a fate worse than death. I mean, the Fireborn are already gone. Dragon Princes are pretty low. Silverhelms are half HP, and Teclis is in a bit of trouble. But like, look at all these High Elf archers that are just chilling, firing into these blobbed up units. Spearmen trying to rout off War Dancers. Unfortunately, they can't keep up with the War Dancers. War Dancers are super fast. But it is what it is. Still, Archer's getting out a lot of shots. Earthblood's here and there, but I imagine Teclis has Flock of Dooms to counter that on his own. And on a Dragon Lord, I mean, ooh, there's 2 bolt throwers. Okay. Anyway, point being, with 5 High Elf archers, if you net the Sisters of Twilight, they're such a big target that those archers can whittle them down with just like volume of fire. Even though it's non-armor piercing arrows. I mean, oh, actually, Sisters only have 60 armor. Ew, that's not great. Okay. I kind of want to see him do it. Kind of want to see Teclis net those fools. Dragon Prince is still fighting. Fireborn chilling on the side. Technically, I was looking at Silver Helms when I said that, but these Dragon Princes are still fighting. And this is bad. War Dancers rally enough to charge into these guys, giving themselves 40% missile resistance with their Woven Mist. Ooh, and that plus their 20% physical resistance. That's 60% resist to these light archer fires. That's getting a little concerning. Big rout here on the side of the Wood Elves, though. The High Elves definitely needed that to stay in this game. And that is the net we were talking about from Teclis. Archers, turning fire, maybe? Some of them are. Not a lot, though. Some of the other archers have other things going on, like War Dancers eating their face. Fireborn do need to get reactivated. They've been kind of sitting here for as long as I've been watching this blob fight occur. So they need to be chasing down the Enigmas of Gairon for sure. Make sure those guys don't come back, because they're plenty healthy. Oh, they came back. All right, that's a bit of a whoopsie. Fireborn. Oh, now you wake up. Now that you're getting Melkoth to death, now you wake up. War Dancers killed off an entire High Elf Archer. They almost got another one, but Teclis' rear charge might get them to rout in time that he can rally the troops. We still have 3 healthy archers, though one is currently being eaten by a dragon. We still have 1 healthy bolt thrower. Fireborn are shattered. You have some other Dragon Princes alive, but I don't know if they can even take those Blade Guard, to be honest. So I don't know. I'm scared. There's another net, though. Sisters of Twilight stuck on the ground. These Spearmen are going to make sure they don't randomly take off into the air. This is more of what I was looking for. Just all these archers pouring in shots. And look at that. Hundreds of HP getting taken off the Sisters of Twilight, knocking them out. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. The net is now worn off, but now they're just staggering for a while as Silver Helms fight the Enigmas of Gairon to the death. The Enigmas are going to rout, the Sisters are going to rout, and all of a sudden the Wood Elves are way behind in the balance of power. That is army losses. So that is our finals matchup. Now this wasn't the finals game, this is the finals matchup. These two had a tiebreaker to do. They both ended at 3-1. So for Fireball Phoenix, I feel like he played that pretty well. From my experience, Wood Elves have a hard time into High Elves, but the Enigmas of Gairon also just might have been a meme too far. Sisters of Twilight too. I felt like his micro was pretty on point, but his build let him down. Was Silco had a better build, seemed very focused, but I did notice some micro slippages here and there, like the Fireborn just kind of AFKing for a while. So I wonder who will win out. Based off of this matchup alone, a sample size of 1, Silco has better builds, Seekvault has better micro. It all comes down to this. And I just got that replay now. So let's get right into it. From teaser to the real game, the actual finals of this tournament between those two players. I have no idea who wins because I literally just got it right now. Silco staying on his High Elves, switching up the build a little bit, while Seekvault falls on the other elves. The Wood Elves let him down, but the Dark Elves will not. All right, here we go. For the High Elves of Silco, we have 4 Silver Helms the Shields, the Fireborn, a whole bunch of Archers and Spearmen, and then Teclis, Flock of Doom, and Net. Still no regrowth. The health he has is the health he has. On the side for the Dark Elves of Seekvault, we have Burning Head Caster, double Bloodrack Medusa to deal with those pesky Archers, and then Shades and Dark Shards. This is an Archer duel for sure. That is 5 Dark Shards and 2 Shades. To protect them, we have some Dread Spears, which are woefully worse than the High Elf Spearman counterparts. Well, I shouldn't say woefully, but if you're talking about just pure holding time, the High Elves will win. Then we have some Dark Riders, and that is it. Sorceress of Fire, I think I already mentioned that. So the High Elves have a supreme advantage in their cavalry. 5 elite heavy cavalry versus 3 light cav is not even close. The Dark Elves have a better Archer core with shielded Dark Shards and 7v5 fight. Front lines are pretty comparable. Spearmen are hold longer, but I mean, it's not like Spearmen are going to win the whole fucking game. So, we'll see. We'll see what the Bloodwrack Medusas can do compared to the Cavalry of Silco. Already, one Dark Rider's going to get picked off by the Silver Helms, streaming in slowly because a farmhouse got in their way. And two of the Dark Shards aren't looking so good. The High Elf Archers do have a longer range, so they've already gotten a volley and a half off before the Dark Shards even got here. But the Bloodwrack Medusas can do a lot of damage to clumped up infantry, which all High Elf infantry is. Unfortunately, though, Bloodwrack Medusas aren't as good versus cavalry anymore. Maybe that's not unfortunate, though. They kind of used to be good versus literally everything. The other two Dark Riders are also stuck fighting Silver Helms, as is to be expected. And Shade's going to wander in to melee a little bit. They're trying to fire, but their line of sight is obstructed, so they end up just walking in. There's a nice Burning Head down the line, going to take out an entire Spearman unit. Should let the Dread Spears through to get onto those Archers who are already wounded by the Dark Shards a little bit. Bloodwrack Medusas moving up, still trying to get shots out, but now they're trying to shoot at Teclis, and they don't do nearly as much single target damage as they used to. So I wonder if Fireball knows that that change occurred. But this is where it gets really concerning. Silver Helms and Dragon Princess have pretty much a free shot onto the Dark Shards backline. Shades also hit with a big old Flock of Doom. Good shots on the Silver Helms on the way in, but it won't save you. Now you guys are compromised. Bloodwrack Medusas dive in. Their terror pushes those guys back. And again, the Fireborn are getting forgotten. Silco, why? Silco, why? The why is because it's a new player tournament. Mistakes happen. And hell, I forgot my Warbearer Rider ROR versus Blood Penguin the other day on stream. But I can still say why. The Fireborn are coming in now. Archers trying to hold, but the Dread Spears got through that Burning Head gap, and now they're starting to upset some of the Archers and just hold them in place. Bloodwrack Medusas trying to fight back, but a lot of Dark Shards are routing. I see 3 routing Dark Shards on my screen right now out of the 5 we started the game with. I don't even see the 5th one, so I think he might already be dead. As another Burning Head trying to clear out that Spearman front line. This is how you kill High Elf Spears. You really have a hard time doing it in melee, but Burning Head or Pendulum or something like that just clear it out so quick. So now the Fireborn need to come back and peel. Looks like they're trying to do that now. They're trying to save some of the Archers and get those guys back online, while Silver Helms and Teclis do most of the grinding through Archers in the backfield. Still, both Bloodwrack Medusas are very healthy. Burning Headcaster's fine. What is going on here, by the way? Anybody know? Anybody know what this is about? Just the random vortex of souls on this hillside? Okay, sorry. Chat popped off. We as in Wood Elves, not used Medusas before. I was testing everything. Okay, cool. Alright, cool. Dark Rider's coming back in. The Vortex of Souls has faded away. I'm guessing it was something to do with murderous prowess. While Archers try and save other Archers. Where are the Fireborn? There they are. They probably want to pick a fight with the Bloodwrack Medusas. The Silver Helms try and catch Shades out. That's the net of Anatok. As the Fireborn surround the Supreme Sorceress of Fire, Opal Amulet tries to save her, but Teclis is going to throw out his Fiery Convocation bound onto those Dark Shards. That might be a 2-for-1 cast. It's hard to tell from this angle, but I really don't want to take her health bar off the screen. That is a 2-for-1 cast, so really good job of Teclis there. She's going to Burning Head down these guys, but the Fireborn, I mean, they don't care at all about that. They have fire resistance. They're getting shot by Bloodwrack Medusa, which they don't like, but the Lord Snipe was probably worth it. Almost straight up killing her was pretty good, though this is getting awkward. They need to kill her fast because they're also going to be needed to kill the Bloodwrack Medusas later. And I hate to keep mentioning it because you might be like, yeah, we know, but like every High Elf game you've ever seen has regrowth. Teclis does not have regrowth, so those Fireborn are stuck at that HP as they charge maybe uphill into Bloodwrack Medusa, but they lose attack orders again, stopping in place in front of the Medusae. Oh no. Archers for the High Elves are slowly coming back online as we have some Silver Helms in the back trying to save them. Other Dread Spears and other Archers are trying to save them. But the Fireborn were peeled away by the Bloodwrack Medusas in melee. The terror was just too much for them. And they didn't, so it was the worst of both worlds, unfortunately for them. They didn't fight the Medusa while they were strong, and they didn't finish off the caster. So the caster's back, the Medusa are still fine, and they're still shooting. And I'm excited for this volley. This volley on the Spearman should be pretty satisfying if they get over that quote-unquote, I'm obstructed, I can't see. Yes, you can. Just shoot the Spearman. You can shoot the Spearman. That's the way. Teclis runs out and catches the Supreme Sorceress of Fire. She didn't notice she had rallied, down to 15 HP. Flock of Doom swag cast as he walks away from a Flock of Doom cast to kill the enemy lord. That shit does no damage. That shit does no damage to single entities. She had 15 health. He was like, fuck it. I'm Teclis, and rides off into the sunset. That was baller. That was baller as shit. I loved that. So without their lord and Murderous Prowess has worn off, the Dread Spears are now pretty pathetic on leadership, so that one's going to get routing soon. Only has one leadership left. The Fireborn are back fighting some Shades, but there's two very healthy Bloodrack Medusa that are going to be a problem to deal with. As you can see, their specialty is killing infantry. Unfortunately for Silco in this late game, all he really has is infantry. The Fireborn are back in. They can do a lot of damage when they feel like it, but they also will terror out as soon as that terror immunity wears off. Charge back into the Shades, deal with those guys. The Medusa are starting to take some damage. Spears are getting in here. Again, they'll terror out pretty quick, but just keep them annoyed. Keep them from shooting your archers while the archers fire back at them. Those big lasers are going to be the real problem, not the melee of these guys. That is an overcasted net from Teclis. Does it hurt him? It hurts him a lot. So they're going to have to get some serious damage out of this because Teclis definitely needs all the health he can get right now. Fireborn in with the rear charge onto the Medusa, but their terror immunity has definitely worn off when they went to go fight those Shades, so they'll probably get routing here in just a second. But for now, they get a little bit of damage on the Blood Archducer, who are both fighting on top of Spears, and this one gets pincushion enough that she is thinking about routing, and yes, she is routing. Teclis is going to have to chase her while this Medusa is still fighting the Fireborn. Can the archers really pull it out? This Medusa gets a quick shot on them. Even though most of the lasers missed, it still did a lot of damage to those archers. But there's the terror out on the Fireborn that Medusa really needed. She's taking so much damage. Flock of Doom onto her from Teclis. If she routes, the Dark Elves just lose. Nope, they have some units back, so they can actually afford to rout, but like, won't Teclis just chase her off the map? As this one's actually about to rally and come back. If it gets a side shot down those archers, that would actually be pretty huge, as this Medusa's still stuck on Spears. Those Spears have got to be just printing money right now. Oh wow, 450. You guys disappoint me yet again. Medusa gets shot in the side and routes. That Medusa's routing. Army losses hits. And Silco on the High Elves will win. That's the moment I learned the Medusas are good at shooting archers. Yeah. I actually think my sample size of 1 played out. I think Silco's build was really solid. Again, I think he took what he needed to beat his opponent. I still think he should take regrowth, but like in new player tournaments, some people just play for fun. So maybe he was sick of regrowth spamming and wanted to do something else. I don't know. But like, if you want to get more wins on quick battle, take regrowth on Teclis. But Silco's build was better than Sigvald's from a purely meta, try-hard, sweaty standpoint. It was a bit better. But Sigvald's micro was better. I noticed a lot less of his units standing around without orders or whatever, while Silco, he won the whole tournament, so I feel I could be critical. He left his Fireborn out of the fight for far too long, and then when they joined, there was a couple instances where they lost attack orders at key moments or just sat around getting shot. So, yeah, I think our little precursor game was actually quite accurate, that Silco's builds are top-notch and Sigvald's micro is very good, so it's like, which one wins? Good build or good micro? So, yeah, good job to Silco. Good win on the tournament. Proud of you. He actually already has the Bone Ripper role. He won, I believe he won a new player tournament many months ago. And he asked me last month or something if he could play a new player tournament again, and I was like, yeah. Because that's not... We do discourage people from who have won tournaments before from playing in these new player tournament ones, but like, again, I'm not trying to harp on the guy who won the whole fucking tournament, but like, we saw here that like he forgot the Fireborn for a bit and all that stuff. It's not like he was smurfing and just pub stomping noobs to feel powerful and ruin their good time. Like, the games were close. He could have lost them. It's not someone here with bad intention. I need to go to bed for work in the morning. I have to be up in 7 hours working, so I'm going to skip the Tomb King's Vampire Counts game, because that looks like two kitty cats trying to carry in a blob, and I don't feel like casting that. Sorry, everybody. And then what is this? Khorne versus Vampire Coast. We can bang it out real quick. Let's go. Good job, Silco. Good win, buddy. Fireball Phoenix. Nice job with your second place. I'm just gonna ping Silco and let him know he won. Hey, GG's, man. Congrats. Alright. He has been told he is a big winner, man. And we'll now cast the final game of the night from earlier in the tournament with Porkenstein and Grimbat. Triple Chaos Furies of Khorne, actually 4 of them. Valkia the Bloody, Fleshhounds of Khorne as well, and then Bloodletters, Marauders. Actually, no Marauders. Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors all. Valkia doing some baiting with Demon Shield. Takes a whole bunch of fire for nothing, comes in there. Meanwhile, Grimbat's build. Handgunners and Zombie Deckhands mob. Then we have the Hand Cannons. Shade Wraith Gunners, 1 Carronade, Count Noctilus on his peg leg, and then the Lamprey's Revenge and other animated hulks. Hand Cannons deleted almost an entire Chaos Fury of Khorne before it got to land, but it did eventually land, and then the other ones came for it. We'll need to see pretty quick activation of these animated hulks if they're going to save the Shade Wraith Gunners. And Valkia's in a bit of a pickle. The Lamprey's Revenge can actually do very well against her, but the Chaos Fury advance is very solid. Really good target priority from those guys, and even the Fleshhounds of Khorne getting in, so a lot of the guns are getting shut down right now. While Valkia might be in overhead, she is causing a mass distraction, which is probably the angle he was going for, probably the point. Fireball handed me my butt twice in a row, but he's a good sport. Yeah, Fireball's a good dude. I love Fireball. Yeah. Anyway, handgun mobs, Fleshhounds of Khorne fighting it out. But it looks like a lot of the coast guns are going to be shut down quite quickly. The Bloodletters are also into melee, so they'll cleave right through these guys. And it looks like it's about to go downhill for the coast. I know the Balanced Power says the coast is up, but I would rather be Khorne here every single time. I think the coast is actually in big trouble from this game state. I'm prepared to be wrong, but I literally never am. I enjoyed the games with you. You'll get me next time, Fireball. No one will ever get you. Is that a Sword of Khorne already? Oh my word. Sword of Khorne to send a message. Look at that sword right in front of Noctilus just being spooky. But yeah, Khorne cleaved through the zombie front line super quickly once they got onto it. The Minotaur's going to kill out the animated hulks. The Carronade's already shut down from the Fleshhounds of Khorne. And this balance of power is just like Valkia hurt, Lampreys and Noctilus not hurt. Coast winning, but actual state of the game, nah. Because these Bloodletters, these Halberds are all super dangerous for the Lamprey's Revenge and Count Noctilus. And they're going to have to deal with a lot of them. We have 4 Bloodletters on my screen. 2 Chaos Warriors Halberds, right? Yeah, 2 full health Halberds. That's a disaster. So if Valkia just doesn't die, the infantry will win this game. Distraction Carnifex from Porkenstein. Hey man, it's working. You have revoked your claim. Your claim to what? What did I do? What did I do? I don't like this slander. Yeah, look how quickly these Lamprey's Revenge are getting melted right now. Arm-piercing Bloodletters, the Minotaurs with their arm-piercing anti-large. Those fools are dead. Those fools are dead! Alright, I have a special announcement to make after this game, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We'll do a short announcement, then you can all go to bed. As these animated hulks are doomed. At this point, I think everything is pretty doomed. But I don't want to start the announcement now. I want to get serious with the announcement. Oh, that nobody will get me. I see. Fireball, maybe I'm just a fool. You ever think about that? Noctilus' little poopy butt summon's about to come out, but it will not save him from army losses. Lamprey's Revenge are gone. All the animated hulks are gone. And I love how Valkia didn't even retreat. Like, she could have. She could have gone the safe route and gotten to safety, but she's like, nah, dude, fuck that. I'm gonna win. Nah, I'd win. Good win for Khorne. Good win. Alright. So, future of the channel stuff. Don't leave. Hey, knock it off. So there's good news, bad news. The bad news is I don't really want to just do these new player tournaments anymore. I'm running into problems both from a content creation side and from my Discord side, where they're the same thing. I just got a donation, so 1 second. Porkenstein, $10. Watching Clown on Me is fun. Thanks, Mr. Boy. Hey, you won that last game. You won that last game. We're proud of you, dude. So I'm getting tired of just doing new player tournaments every week, and it's most of my live streams now because I have to fit one in every single week. And it just gets... It doesn't get boring because new players are always super lively and amazing. But it is getting stale, and I know that sounds like the same thing, but it's like eating mac and cheese for every meal. And mac and cheese is fucking dope. And it's not like it's bad, it's just you want to mix it up sometimes. But sometimes I only have time to stream one thing in a week. And then it's like, okay, well, if I have 2 or 3 weeks of that in a row, my live stream feed just becomes new player tournaments. I want to cast some like veteran player tournaments. I want to cast some more creative stuff. So we're going to switch it up. Now, here's where the good news comes in. New player tournaments aren't going anywhere. They're just not going to be every week from me. There's going to be one every week, but it might not be on this channel. But like RTK's Big JP hosts a Conquest tournament I think he's going to host them every other weekend for new players. And then he hosts Domination every other weekend. So I'm going to try and plan it on the weekends he does Conquest. I won't do a new player tournament that week because Conquest is close enough to land battles that most people will enjoy it. And then on the weekends he has Domination stuff. I'll do something land battles because that one's different enough where like some people don't like Domination, some people don't like land battles, but you know, for the people in my area that normally do land battle stuff, so that they have something to do. So I'll still cast those, but not every week. So every week there'll still be a new player tournament. I just won't cast all of them. I'll cast every other one. So there's that news. It also relates to the Discord, where if you care, we've had 83 of these. So I have 83 people who have won new player tournaments, can't play in more new player tournaments. But our conversion rate hasn't been great on seeing them hang around. Like when I host a tournament, I don't see all of these new player tournament winners show up in all my tournaments and kick tons of ass. They kind of tend to fuck off. And I don't blame them. But there are people who just showed up for the casual new player tournaments and then don't want to sign up for like sweaty tryhard ones. And that's kind of the part 2 of this is instead of doing new player tournaments all the time, I'll still do new player tournaments, just not all the time. I want to do some more intermediate tournaments, some more for fun tournaments, maybe some more sweaty tryhard tournaments, but something to bring more of those people in. Because I have a lot of them that are patrons of the channel or members on YouTube, and then I don't make any content for them. Like it's like, hey, thanks for your money and thanks for playing my new player tournament. I'm going to ignore you now for like months on it. And that's not fun. Because then when I do a big special event, like the Faction Wars or Warpstone Cup or something, I go to the top tier players. So again, that middle tier, those bone rippers who have won a new player tournament before, they just get nothing. They get nothing out of my content. There's new players and there's extremely veteran players, and that's it. So I need to switch it up to get some of them more engaged. It'll help the Discord have more people playing. It'll help more of my patrons and more people who have participated in these new player tournaments have somewhere to go. And again, the new player tournaments aren't getting canceled. I'm just going to do them less frequently and shift some of that over to Big JP. And Tequila Sunset or Tactical Let's usually stream those tournaments. They always get streamed. It's just different people streaming them. But thought I'd inform you since I know a lot of people love these new player tournaments, but we're not going to be doing them as often. You need more money? I don't need more money. I just got to diversify my content so that I don't just play to one demographic. Because we have a huge fall off where like people beat new player tournaments and then they just never come back because I don't offer them any content past that. Could have donated 1K a week to keep this going, but I suppose it's just not. Dude, it's not going anywhere. I'm just going to be casting it less often. Instead of every week, it's going to be every other week. And then every week I'm not doing it, Big JP is going to be hosting pretty much the same thing. Because that's here's the behind the scenes. For those of you who hung around because I asked you to hang around and you're not interested in this, you can leave. I appreciate you hanging around. For anybody else, Big JP already hosts these tournaments every weekend. We're just competing with each other. Like, because new player tournaments might play my thing and not his thing, or his thing and not my thing, so we're poaching off each other. So I talked to him and I'm like, all right, why don't we just host one thing together? So I'll promote your thing so more people sign up for your thing, and you'll stop hosting it on the weeks where I want to do my thing, so you're not stealing players from me. Well, stealing is such a harsh word, but you get my point, where it's like, there's 2 new player tournaments in a couple days, and not everybody just plays this game 24/7. Some people pick 1 or 2 tournaments to play in a week. So, yeah, it's more of a team up with Big JP than canceling anything. And that'll be hype. What race or lord would you recommend for new player trying land battle domination with the trilogy and no DLC? Grand Cathay. Very strong without their DLC. They're a good base faction. Skaven without their DLC is honestly still pretty strong. Those are the 2. Those are 2 I'd recommend. Those gates are half closed now. Will we be able to get Bone Ripper from his tourneys? Yeah, Tremor. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And new players can play in non-new player events if they want to. The new player events are just nice to like put up a gate for someone who's nervous about starting and they don't want to play anybody who's like crazy good. But if you don't give a fuck, I mean, you can sign up. We have this tournament, right? This tournament that's coming up. Let me pop it up again. The Doomstack tournament, the biggest WoW. This is one of the things I'm casting instead of a new player tournament. And it's like, you can sign up, and it's clearly not fucking sweaty tryhard. We have infinite money and multiple lords. Like, it's silly, wild shit that's going to be fun. And you can for sure sign up for that. It's just not a new player specific tournament. It's an anyone tournament. That's really all it is. It should be fun. It should be a net positive for the channel, but I thought I would let you know. Oh, wait. All right. I'm leaving. Goodbye forever. I'm never coming back. Fuck y'all. No, I'm kidding. Not fuck y'all. I hope you have a great night.